Hey guys! Welcome back to Jolskitchen. For today's video, we are going to make a top-forward cake, or basically a cake turned on its side. If you want to know how this cake is made, just keep on watching. Let's assemble the cake like we used to. I'm using chocolate ganache because it stiffens or it hardens a little bit sturdier over buttercream or any other frosting. And we want to make sure that our cakes would stand on its side and would stay standing on its side because we don't want a collapsed cake. So for this one, I'm using a 6-inch chocolate cake. The recipe I will be placing below. And then after that, I'm gonna place on the ganache. It's a thick layer also. And then I'm placing another layer. So we're doing 3 layers of this one. So I didn't want a very thick top layer, so I'm just using 3 layers of cake, and each layer would be 1 inch thick. Once you're done with your top layer, place in your crumb coat. I'm still using chocolate ganache. Make sure that you're gonna place a thick layer to it. And then don't forget the top also. Just make sure that it's all leveled and smooth. And then this ganache actually would help in making the cake sturdier. I have thought of using buttercream and other frosting, but I assure you that ganache would be the best way if you want to make a sturdy cake. So once the sides of the cake is smooth, now you want to also level off the top of it. Make sure that it's also smooth on the top. After that, let's place this in the fridge for at least 20 minutes. Once the cake is firm, now I'm placing the frosting. What I'm using right now is buttercream. Also, the recipe is down below. And as usual, I'm using a piping bag to make sure that the buttercream would be leveled, and it's easy for me to level it off with a spatula. For the sides, I'm also using a scraper, and I'm gonna go through with it for a little bit, and then when there are sparse areas like holes on the sides, you would want to add more buttercream to it, and then keep spinning until you have the smooth surface. After that, you would want to clean the top also for that sharp edge. So make sure that you do this properly. You need to have that sharp edge because this is the one that's going to be facing front forward. So to smooth out your buttercream, you can use a hot spatula. So dip it in hot water, wipe it off with a towel, and then swipe it over your buttercream. That goes in the fridge for 10 minutes or 15 until the buttercream is firm. And then I'm gonna get another board, and then I'm just gonna flip it over fast so that you won't break your cake. After that, you wanna pop out that lower board out of the cake so that you can add an additional frosting on top of it. So as usual, I'm still using the same method, and then I'm gonna smooth it out again with spatula. So the reason also why I'm using buttercream is that it's easier for me to take out the excess buttercream because the earlier ones are already firm. So we're gonna smooth the top of the cake and then run through a hot spatula again to make the top layer smooth. After that, we're gonna want to place this in the fridge for 15 minutes or until the buttercream is firm. So after that, we're gonna slice a small part of the cake, and this is going to be the base of our cake once we're going to flip it. And we're gonna slowly transfer it to our final board. I forgot to record that I placed a small amount of ganache on the base, and then once I transferred it to the board, I just slowly took out the other board that we used earlier. And that's not gonna be perfect at the back, but we're gonna do something to it later. Then we just wiggle a little bit with another spatula so that you'd be able to release your cake. So after that, we're gonna want to clean the sides with the imperfections or the smudges. And then at the back of the base of the cake, you would want to add more buttercream so that you would smooth it out. And then smooth it out some more with hot spatula so that it would be nice and clean at the back. After cleaning out your board, you would want to set this off for at least 10 minutes. Then we're gonna go on to decorating. Now I'm using a stencil, and then I'm just gonna be wiping in lightly buttercream. So this is just plain buttercream. I didn't add any color to it. Anything that would contrast your cake so that it would show the pattern. Then after that, you would want to take it out slowly. Now, if you see, this part here is where I actually dented a little bit of the icing, but that's okay. We're gonna do something to it later. Then we're gonna add our edible flowers. So these are fondant flower roses. And then some hard icing. This was the usual icing that we have when we were younger. Then after that, we want to add dried flowers. So I'm using pink and white combination. I'm gonna add some gold balls. Now this one just makes magic on your cakes. It always comes out beautiful. And then after that, I'm gonna see the sparse area and just gonna add a little bit more of the decorations. Now for the part that has been dented, I just placed in gold dust and then edible gold leaf, and you won't notice that it is right there. It's just gonna be part of the design, so they say. So our cake is done. I hope you like this tutorial, guys, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you around in our next video. Bye!